I have an angel who comes every 2 weeks and cuts my grass. This is the dog lot. They can't get in here, so they don't get it cut. But they cut everything else but my dog lot. And I love it. They are so special. I have no idea who this person is that comes and cuts my grass. I can't pay them because they don't know where to look. I was looking for my tea. I came outside because I need to be outside. I just, how you just want to be outside some. So, ever since my second bout with cancer, I can't build my strength up. Part of it is the Verzenio. The Verzenio, it literally, if I'd have kept taking it, it would have killed me. I would have gotten to where my lungs couldn't work. And my family doctor said that if I'd have gotten any more anemic, I would have been a spontaneous bleeder. Well, I didn't know why. Just the slightest little cut. Just, let me see. See that itty bitty cut right there? It would bleed like I'd cut a major artery. All the time, I was bleeding from the slightest little thing, and it would bleed and bleed and bleed. And my boss was like, why do you keep doing that? And I'm like, I wish I knew, because every time I ask a doctor, they would say they didn't know and wouldn't do anything to find out. And it turns out it was the Verzenio. But so that, I would come home on Friday from work, be in bed by 7, and sleep till 7 or 8 Sunday morning. Saturday just didn't exist with me, because I slept right through it because I was so anemic. At the time, I only had 2 dogs, or maybe 3. I only had 2. I didn't get Max until after I got over that. But when I went to the oncologist, and he saw the results of a CAT scan that the surgeon had done, he's like, oh, you've got to stop right now. That stuff is messing your lungs up. I'm like, no duh. But his only comment, no compassion, no nothing. Well, sometimes that happens. We can't control what happens. Nothing. No, there was no compassion in it. At that moment, I knew I was changing doctors. And I did. And I can't remember if I've told you folks or not, but when I went to the oncologist this past week, I found out that I knew my current oncologist was retiring, but he told me Monday that the doctor hired to replace him is the doctor from Dublin. And I'm like, well, I guess I need to find another oncologist. And he said, well, you can always see the other doctor in the practice. And I said, okay, I will do that. But I will not, under any circumstances, see the doctor from Dublin. So I haven't done it yet, because I'm going to give this lady a shot. But if the doctor from Dublin interferes at all, I will have a backup plan already in place to change oncologists. Because there's more than that happened between me and this doctor, that I really should have changed doctors a long time ago. But in my mind, he saved my life. Anyway, I have trouble. The CAT scan showed that my lungs have healed all but the upper lobe of my right lung. And I don't think it's that bad. But I still, when it's really hot, I can't breathe outside. That's why the dog lot is not too bad, but it's the way it is, because it's hard for me to cut it all when it's 100 degrees outside or when it's 95 degrees outside, and it stays that way. And it's finally getting to where it's not that way. But now the problem is all I have is a push mower, and I don't know if it'll go through it at this moment. It's looking like it's not as thick as it was back in July and August. And if that's the case, then I should not have a problem at all. I'm hoping this coming weekend it'll be cool enough where I can actually cut it. But, you know, I am on a couple of pages on Facebook with people who's had breast cancer. And I am amazed at the women who, they go right back to running 5 miles a day, or they go back to their normal life before cancer. And I have never, ever been able to do it. I can't build my strength up. I did for a period when I had to do physical therapy for my back. It helped me more than anything. But even now, you know, well, since that happened, I had cancer again. But getting over that Verzenio and how run down my body was, you know, it's been almost, well, no, it's not. It's been, let's see, that happened in October. In March is when I quit the oxygen. So what, 6-7 months? And I just can't get my strength back. Like I've got strength I've got normal strength, as in I can drive myself to work, I can go grocery shopping, I can do all this stuff. I cannot cut the grass. Now, at the beginning of the year, I was so tickled because I could cut the grass. I could, but then the heat came, and it just I can't deal with the heat. And I did a pretty good job. I was able to cut all of my yard, which I think is between 3 to 5 acres. It's a big yard. My goal, my prayer, my hope is to have a riding mower next year so I can do it myself. I would love to know who is cutting my grass. I would just thank them beyond belief, because they're not getting paid. They are doing this out of the kindness of their heart. I worry a lot. I've got 4 dogs unintentionally. I had 3 intentionally, 4 unintentionally, and 3 cats that I would like to rehome. But my ex makes that very hard to do. He stalks me on Facebook. He cannot come to my page and see what I am doing. But he can see if I post anything on a public site. So if I post anything on a yard sale page or anything that is not a private thing, he can see it. And he looks for it. He took me to, okay. Anyway, and the last thing I want him to know is that I have cancer. And I don't think he's smart enough to find me on Facebook. He likes to think he's extremely smart. He is the type of person who has tons of book sense, but no common sense. So I don't think he'll find me. Anyway, if he finds out, I guess he finds out. Yes, the screen is busted back here. What happened was right after we moved in, we had the window open, and my big gray cat was sitting there. She was just enjoying the night air, and all of a sudden this huge, massive white cat jumped up and stuck its claws in the screen and just went straight down and ripped the screen. Now, the big hole happened a few days ago because I had it open just because it was cool enough to have it open, and stupid Boo-Boo, all 80 pounds of her, decided she was going to come through it. So I just need to replace the screen. My plan is, if I can ever figure out how to get it out, is to pull one of the screens from the upstairs windows and put it down here until I can get this one re-screened. Anyway, I have a doctor's appointment in October with the oncologist And with the insurance situation, I think I told y'all that my insurance was canceled without anybody telling me. So at this very moment, I don't have insurance. I'm going to get my boss to help me tomorrow to get the insurance through work. Because I went to my family doctor Thursday and was informed I no longer have insurance. I had insurance on Monday. Oh, crap. The puppy took off with my cup I had my tea in, so I don't know what happened to my tea. Anyway, I'll just make some more if I want it. Look who's with me. My ride or die, my little boy. And over there, can you see him? Maxie. Look, Maxie. There's my Maxie. I don't know if you can see him or not. He stands right here real close. He used to jump. Okay, I have a cattle fence. I don't know why. That's the way it was when we bought it. But there's a cattle fence to the dog lot. And, you know, there's that gap on it. And when I would come home, he would jump through that. And when he started biting people, I had to fix it where he couldn't. Because he's a good dog. He's just being protective. That is his job. Even the cop that came here one night for something ridiculous, one night out of the blue, I got a text and it said, "Hey, you still got that pot?" And for whatever reason, I replied back, "I think you got the wrong number." And then I called the cops and told them, I said, some idiot texted me asking me if I still had the pot. And they literally sent an officer out here to look at the message and get the number. And we were talking about the Chester, the puppy. I was still trying to give him away. And then I was telling him about how Max has started biting, and he said, "Oh, he's just being protective." So at least the cop understands the dog is only doing it because he's being protective. He's not doing it to be mean. Anyway, I worry about them, all 7 of them, if something happens to me. I have a will, and the fool will be surprised to know that there is a will opposite of what he thinks there is, because he thinks there is something wrong with my mind. He's told me several times I need to be in a nursing home because he doesn't understand the effects that chemo has on you, but also it goes away. He just wants to think the worst of me, and that's fine. If that's what he wants, let him do it. I guess I'm talking about everything just to get my mind off of the cancer. I'm really stressed, really, really stressed about not having health insurance right now. But I think that will be taken care of this week. I just have to get a letter from the old insurance to give to the new insurance as proof that I don't have insurance anymore. I tried calling. Well, when I was talking to him, I didn't know I needed it. And then when I was trying to sign up for the new insurance, that's when I found out I needed it. So I tried to log into the old insurance app, and I couldn't. It wouldn't let me. Anyway, this is a pretty long one, so I will talk to you guys later.